Hello friends, in this video tutorial we'll see what is autoscaling, what are the various autoscaling options, and at last we'll do a lab exercise and we'll do the autoscaling setup. Okay, so let's start. What is autoscaling? Autoscaling is a way to automatically scale up or down the number of compute resources that are being allocated to your application based on its needs at any given time. Okay, and it helps you to ensure that you have the correct number of Amazon EC2 instances available to handle the load for your applications. Whatever the loads you have, it does not matter, it will handle automatically. It ensures that you have always the required number of EC2 instances available for your applications. Okay, so there are various components, actually autoscaling components are there. So these components are the groups. One is the group. EC2 instances are organized into groups so that they can be treated as a logical unit for the purposes of scaling and management. So when you create a group, you can specify its minimum, maximum, and desired number of EC2 instances you require. So it's actually a configuration you have to set up. So what is the configuration template? The groups uses launch template or launch configuration as a configuration template for its EC2 instances. So you have to specify the information such as the AMI ID, instance type, key pair, security group, block device, etc. Right? So scaling options. Autoscaling provides several ways for you to scale your autoscaling groups. For example, you can configure a group to scale based on the occurrence of specified conditions. Okay, we'll see the various options. So there are various scaling options like maintain current instance levels at all times, scale manually, scale based on a schedule, scale based on demand, and use predictive scaling. First option is maintain the current instance levels at all times. So we can configure our autoscaling group to maintain a specified number of running instances at all times. Okay, to maintain the current instance levels, Amazon EC2 in autoscaling performs a periodic health check on the running instances. So when Amazon EC2 autoscaling finds an unhealthy instance, it terminates that instance and launches a new one. Okay, so that means, so the number of EC2 instances will be the same the all times. Okay, means if any instances having some issues or any uh, bugs noticed, it will be terminate. It will terminate the instance and recreate it automatically. Okay, so that suppose you have 4 instances and one instance got some issues, it will terminate that and recreate it. So next you will have the same 4 instances. Scale manually. So manual scaling is the most basic way to scale your resources, where you specify only the change in the maximum, minimum, and desired capacity of your autoscaling group. So Amazon EC2 autoscaling manages the process of creating or terminating instances to maintain the updated capacity. So scale manually means if there is any demand comes, right, if you more demand comes or any load comes or any instances goes down or has issues terminated, you can manually add or subtract. Okay, so you can add, if you want you can add 2 more EC2 instances. If you do, there is no demand and you don't need those EC2 instances to be there, you can remove those 2 instances as well. Okay, so in this way you can set up the auto scaling group manually. You can scale manually, scale based on a schedule. So scaling by schedule means that scaling actions are performed automatically as a function of time and date. This is useful when you know exactly when to increase or decrease the number of instances in your group. Think about the e-commerce site Amazon or Flipkart. So there will be a schedule, right? At this particular time there will be huge demand, like the traffic will be coming, right? So what they'll do, they'll schedule at particular, like 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. the traffic goes off, so they can schedule to increase the resources. Then scale based on demand. So it is a more advanced way to scale your resources using scaling policies. If you have a web application that currently run on 2 instances and you want CPU utilization of the auto-scaling group to stay at around 50% when the load and the application changes. Okay, so this method is useful for scaling in response to changing the conditions when you don't know when those conditions will change. So this auto scaling group setups you have to do to scale based on a demand. As I was telling before, if there is more demand, the more resources will be added. If there are less demand, like the demand has decreased, then the resource also will automatically be decreased. You don't need those resources being there. You don't have to pay unnecessary for those resources. Okay, so you can scale based on the demand. The next option is the predictive scaling. The predictive scaling, a feature of AWS AutoScaling, uses the machine learning to schedule the right number of EC2 instances. So suppose what it does, it predicts future traffic, including regularly occurring spikes, and provision the right number of EC2 instances in advance. Log into AWS Management Console. Okay, I'll go to EC2 section. The EC2 section left side panel, you'll see the auto scaling option here. First we are going to set up the configuration. Okay, configuration template. Click on launch configuration. Okay, so what it says, instead of using launch configuration to create your EC2, you use this new option like start using launch templates. Instead of configuration, we are going to use launch templates. Click it here. Okay, then create launch templates. So just give a template name. Okay, give a template version. Okay, the template version description, you can give like a demo ASG. Okay, so you can provide a template tag or else you can just leave it. Okay, and go to the Amazon machine image. Okay, select, I'm going to use Amazon Linux 2 and select the instance type, use T2 micro. And your network setting, I'm going to use the virtual private cloud, that VPC. Okay, and security group, I'm going to use my already created security group, my dev server, or if not, you can create a security group and add it over here. And storage volume, I'm just leaving it default like 8 GB and all. Okay, so resource tag, you can just add a tag if you want. Name, just give a value over here like my demo server. Okay, whatever you want. Okay, resource type. Okay, just leave it default. Okay, see the advanced details. Okay, so if you want, you can just check the tenancy and all these options, capacity reservation and all. If not, this is nothing but the EC2 information, EC2 details, what kind of resource, what kind of machines you need. so you have to set up here. Okay, so you can set up the IAM profile also. Okay, you can select whatever IAM profile you have, you can, or you can create a new one. Okay, so I'm not adding anything over here. Go and create launch template. So the template is now successfully created. Now what we'll do, go and create the auto scaling groups. Now click auto scaling group, just give a name, my auto scaling select the template, whatever we template we created. Okay, I have my SC, the version I'm just giving default. Go and hit next. Okay, and select the VPC, and here while selecting the subnets, so select the all availability zone. Okay, I'm going to select one, then 1B. Okay, and then you can see 1C. Okay, 3 subnets, so that it will be available in 3 availability zones. Okay, now go and hit next. If you have any load balancing or load balancer created and you want to use this, so here I'm just going to reduce it to 60 seconds. There every 1 minute it will do the health check. Okay, now click on next. So here the group size it is giving as desired capacity, minimum capacity and maximum capacity. Okay, so I need desired should be 3 instances. Suppose I'm going to create 3 instances, and minimum capacity suppose 3, and I'm going to select as 5. So what this means, so my EC2 resources, EC2 instances will be always 3. So it's minimum 3 instances I need, and the maximum could be 5. Okay, based on the demand it will increase. Now scaling options. Okay, here the policy you can choose. I'm just selecting none. So here the instance scale in protection it's optional. If you want, you can just select this instance scale in protection. Okay, here add notification. If you want to add any notification, if you have created that SNS group or SNS topic, you can just add it over here. Okay, so that notification will be sent to your email ID through SNS service. Okay, next, add tags. Next, you just have a look and review it, then create the auto scaling. So once you hit this create auto scaling group, it will create 3 instances. Okay, so if you see it here, we have desired capacity 3, minimum capacity we have given 3. So what it is going to do, based on the template whatever we set just before, all the information that Amazon AMI, right, Amazon Machine Images, with what type of instances you need, those templates will be created by this group to create the EC2 instances. Okay, just hit auto scaling group. What it says, my auto scaling created successfully. So what you are going to do, just go, if you see it here, it says like updating capacity. If you go to EC2 dashboard and see the instances, okay, see here now the EC2 instances created. So 3 EC2 instances created, like 3 machines are currently running. So the auto scaling group, whatever we had set up with the configuration template, with those information, the auto scaling group created machines for us. Okay, so what we had given, like if you go to the auto scaling group, you'll see here like the desired capacity is 3 and minimum is 3 and maximum is 5. So all the time the EC2 instance will be three instances will be there. So let's see, go and terminate one or two instances and see what is happening. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to select to terminate these two instances. Terminate. What it says, instance ID, the following instances are attached to an auto-scaling group. If you terminate the instance, EC2 auto-scaling might launch replacement instances automatically. Let's see what happens. Terminate. The machines are now getting terminated. Just hit refresh. Okay, now we have only one machine running, right? So let's see what's happening. Another two instances should automatically come up within 1 minute. Okay, if we go and see the auto scaling group, okay, just see it. If you see here the activity details, okay, the activity, you can see here all the activity informations available here, successful, failure, all the informations you can find it out. And you can monitor also what's happening over here. You can set up the cloud watch to monitor the groups, right, maximum, and all the informations will be available here. Now see if there are other instances gets created or not. Okay, just hit refresh. Okay, see the one instances just now came up. Okay, just keep refreshing. Okay, here you see three instances are now come up and running. Okay, this is how the auto scaling groups will always do the health check. If there are any instances goes down or any issues, it will terminate automatically and create new instances for you. Okay, hope you understood the concept of auto scaling and how you can set up the auto scaling group and all, right? If you have any doubt or any concerns, you can just comment on the comment section below. Okay, if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe now so that you'll get notified if I update any new videos or tutorials on clouds or any DevOps. If you want to terminate the session, and if you don't need these instances to run, or if you want to terminate the auto scaling group, you just go to auto scaling group. Okay, and just select and delete it. Okay, so just type delete to confirm. Hit delete. What it will do, it will delete the auto scaling group as well as the instances created. Okay, just go and check the EC2 instances. Okay, see here there are no instances running. Okay, so all are deleted now. If you go to auto scaling group again, okay, so here the status is deleting. At the same time, it has also deleted all the instances created by that group. We don't have any instances running. Okay, the auto scaling group also deletes the templates what are being used by the group. Okay, so hope you understood the concept of auto scaling group and how you can do the setup. If you have any doubt or any concerns, do comment in the comment section below. And if you have not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe so that you get notified when I add new videos on this. Okay, thank you.